someone like Tilak Verma will add two verticals in the side, Tendulkar and Shubman Gill, and related to them. I hope there is no pun intended on that. Left-handed option in the Indian middle order, batting order looks a bit one-dimensional, but still I'll back KL Rahul for the position.
Hello and a warm welcome to each and everyone out here in Cricket Reborn. The Asia Cup 2023 is on the verge of its end. It's going to see its end because the main event clash is waiting on the cards. It's India versus Sri Lanka at the R. Premadasa Stadium, Colombo. It's a special event ahead of in the lead up to the World Cup 2023. And for the special event, I've got a special person alongside me. I know you can see the name over here, but for all those who I know there will be many of them who might have seen this figure, who might have seen this great character out there who tries to contribute towards the Indian fraternity. You might have seen him in the Lords, in the Mecca of cricket. You might have seen him in the Caribbean islands, somewhere sitting with some of the greatest of all. And now here he is, just to express his opinions on the final and what's all everything going around the Indian cricket team and also the Asia Cup 2023. So it's a privilege for me to welcome to each and every one of you. As joining by your side is the Indian journalist Sandipan Banerjee, aka Sandipan the cricket guy. Welcome, Sandipan.
Hello, Arijit. First of all, I am quite flattered with your, with your introduction and especially the places you have mentioned. One of my favorite places those are. But overall, yeah, thanks. It's nice to be with you, on a podcast finally.
Yeah, so yeah, finally we have made it done, and let's hope that we
Yeah.
can get to discuss some quality cricket, regarding the Indian cricket as well as Sri Lanka, what's going on, what's cooking actually in Asia Cup. So to start off with, yesterday we saw India's performance. They were without five of their first choice cricketers, and Bangladesh got a win. I think after almost 12 years, 11 or 12 years, they got to beat India in Asia Cup.
11
So
years, yeah.
yeah. So
Last time they beat India in an Asia Cup game, that was the famous match in which Sachin Tendulkar scored his 100 international 100
yeah,
in Dhaka.
absolutely. And the best thing about is that once again, the last time it was Sachin Tendulkar century, and now here it is Shubman Gill century. But the rarest occasion is that both of them come in a India's losing event. So that's the thing. So who knows? Shubman Gill might go on in the future and be one of the greatest of all times, like Sachin is.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, So, Sandeepan, coming to the final, we've got to hear a news that is grilling, and that is Akshar Patel is slightly going to miss the final, and in place of him, it's Washington Sundar who's coming in. So, what are your views on this decision of the management?
First of all, I was just wondering, you mentioned Tendulkar and Shubman Gill and related to them. I hope there is no pun intended on that. But on a serious note, yes. Akshar Patel, there is a concern. So Washington Sundar has been brought in as a cover. But yeah, I mean, I think in the final, anyway, Akshar Patel wasn't, you know, in the first choice scheme of things. Definitely, India will go ahead with their primary spinners, Kuldeep Yadav and Jadeja, along with three pacers. So yeah, I mean, I think Akshar injury is a concern in the World Cup perspective, but not for the if you look at from the Asia Cup perspective, final perspective. I don't think it's a major concern for the Indian team.
All right. Yeah, and we also saw that Shardul Thakur is the one they're backing alongside two pacers. And when it comes to
Yeah.
two pacers, we've seen it's either Bumrah or Siraj who was the go-to in the last couple of matches, bearing the Bangladesh one. But Mohammed Shami, like a character like Mohammed Shami, who on his day he can just rip off the opposition, isn't it? So
Yeah.
if we talk about the World Cup, like it's the Indian conditions very much similar to what is in there in Colombo. So, what do you think should be the Indian bowling combination? Like, should they stick with Siraj and Bumrah along with Shardul? Shardul gives that batting depth, or should they somewhat, let that Bumrah and Shami effect come into the place?
Look, I think it will be flexible. They will be more flexible. World Cup, of course, there will be 9 league games back to back for Indian team,
Yeah.
and I don't think they will play all their nine. They will play their first choice seamers for all the 9 games. So basically, they will just pick and choose. Uh, Obviously, Shardul is there. So they have the luxury to pick and choose also on conditions where the spinners might be helpful. They might play an extra spin option. Therefore, their Akshar Patel is there. So overall, if you ask me for the first game against Australia in Chennai, I think probably ideally they should go ahead with their first choice pacers, but again, that will that for that they have to sacrifice their batting depth a little bit. But considering the World Cup is being played in India, in subcontinent, don't need so many batters, and Shardul as a batter hasn't contributed enough in recent times. In white ball cricket, so I would, if you ask me, I would like them to go ahead with both Shami, Siraj, and Bumrah, along with Kuldeep and Jadeja.
All right, so that's a very
And
lethal attack
Hardik
if
will be,
they.
of course, the other seam
Yeah.
bowling option.
Yeah, so it's like four seam bowling options, and you've got two spinners. And if needed, if like it's a dry condition, perhaps in Lucknow, they might
I
take
don't
them.
think it will be. I'm talking about for the Australia game.
All right.
I know the game is in Chennai, but at the
Mm-hmm.
start of the World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
it is the start of the Indian cricket season as well. So wickets will be fresh. I don't think it will be ranked Turner in Chennai like we always see in most of the IPL games. I think it will be a pretty good batting wicket.
All right. And there's also another debate that's going on in the current Indian scheme of things, and that is who should be the wicket keeper. Like, should it be KL Rahul or should it be Ishan Kishan? We saw Ishan Kishan play a very good knock against Pakistan, which was ultimately a rain-washed encounter. But KL Rahul, he just, again, he got to score a century, a comeback century against Pakistan in the Super Fours. So, if you were the management, who do you back?
I will back KL Rahul. I think the management will also back KL Rahul because I think in ODIs, KL Rahul bats gets his comfort zone. He doesn't have to, play their flyer right from the start. He bats in the middle order. He has kept well as well. He looked in good shape in recent games. He has scored important runs at a crucial juncture. And in the middle order, I think KL Rahul gives a lot of stability to this team. So I know that there is a lack of left-hander option in the Indian middle order. Batting order looks a bit one-dimensional, but still I'll back KL Rahul for the position.
Yeah, and very nicely pointed about that left-hander. Like this was one of those questions I would love to ask you, and that is in the last 2 decades, if you see, in the last 2 decades, we've seen a left-handed top order batter was always there in Indian team, and we've seen those India winning those championships also. Like if we talk about the India and Sri Lanka winning the Champions Trophy, the joint winners under the captaincy of Saurav Ganguly. Then right after MS Dhoni, we saw in 2007 they won 2011, 2013 Champions Trophy again. So there was previously it was Saurav Ganguly, then it was Gautam Gambhir. There was a Yuvraj Singh as well who could bat at number four, sometimes Suresh Raina, and then it was Shikhar Dhawan who was batting up the order. But now it's, as you rightly mentioned, is one-dimensional. All the right-handed batters, the top four, if you see Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, and then it's KL Rahul or Shreyas Iyer. It may be. So like, do you think someone like Shikhar Dhawan could have been backed for the World Cup squad because stating that he was one of those ICC person, whenever it comes to ICC events, he would come and score runs.
I don't think so. I don't think so because Shikhar Dhawan has well past his prime. I think overall, if you look at, you have to give chances to the people who are and recently have been in good batting form, right? You cannot pick a side big just because he's a left-hander. So yeah, I think maybe that's why they are trying out Tilak Verma, right? Like
Yeah.
because Shreyas Iyer, there is a little bit of injury concern of Shreyas Iyer, and though he has been working at the back ends at the nets, but still he is not fully match fit. And as per the ICC rules, you can make changes in your site, in your 11, in your squad till
Right.
27 without the approval of technical committee. So till 27th, the selectors will get time, the team management will get time to monitor Shreyas, and if he doesn't make it, if he's not fit enough, then someone like Tilak Burma can be utilized. He bats in the middle order, good player, good aggressive batter against both spinners and fast bowlers, as well as he is a very handy right arm off spinner as well. And remember, this Indian team misses an off spinner too. So if so, someone like Tilak Verma will add two verticals in this side, in this squad.
Yeah, very much rightly pointed, spot on. And and maybe that is the reason we got to see Tilak Verma make his debut, ODI debut, right yesterday. Like there were a lot of questions concerning like why Tilak Verma is making his debut because Shreyas Iyer is already in the squad. But you very rightly mention this point that the Indian team can make amendments, right? And do you think in the India versus Australia series as well, like Tilak Verma is going to get a go, uh, and perhaps the team is going to test him a little more and just to see if they can fit him somewhere.
Definitely, he will get a go. I think you will see some of these best, like people like Surya, people like Tilak. I think they will get some opportunities in that series against Australia. And it is going to be a great series because with the currently the Australia South Africa series has been
Yeah.
turning out to be a great series. So overall, I think it is going to be a good series. So I would love before 27th. I think they will try out few options.
Yeah, it should be the thing because that's the last date. And now we've seen the Asia Cup, like how things have unfolded, right? And as Rohit Sharma mentioned earlier on, that they have ticked almost a lot of boxes, but there could have been a few one or two boxes that might have missed, like for example, a few areas of improvement for the Indian team. So, as an Indian cricket journalist, looking the team from a very closer perspective, so what do you think? What better can be done, or something that Indian cricket is missing, and what improvements can be done? Looking at the bigger picture.
As of now, it is mostly. I think there are few plugs holes which they need to plug. One is I've already mentioned depth, batting depth, and the balance between bat and the having your first choice bowling attack versus an extra batting option towards the depth. That is one area. I think Kuldeep has been a big improvement. Kuldeep, I was looking actually in this Asia Cup. I think I was looking at him, and because he adds a lot of value in this team, being the specialist spinner, first choice specialist spinner. So Kuldeep adds a lot of value. I think overall, if you look at, I think they need to basically they need to find out what bowling order bowling. I mean, in terms of pacers, they should play. Whether they should sacrifice one extra batter and play their first choice pace attack, or they include Shardul and continue to play Shardul and extend their batting a little bit. And to be fair on Shardul, I think Shardul has taken wickets. Since I think in recent times he has been one of the prominent wicket takers with the ball. But again, with bat he hasn't contributed enough,
Yeah, he only
especially in white
contributed
ball.
against
Red ball
RCB.
cricket, I know you can tell me that he has done well in red ball, and
Yeah.
but in white ball, I think he still needs to contribute more as a batter.
Yeah, yeah, I second with you on this case, and I also think that Shardul Thakur, like the last time we saw him go really bad well was against RCB. The RCB fans were really furious because it was KKR when he just won a match out of nowhere for them. But again, I think game time is also very important for Shardul. He bats at number 8, so do you see him acting as a floater in the side, like for example, if needed, again come up and bat at number 5 or 6, and just if some you need the
No,
run. You need to match
I
up the
don't think
flow.
if they have to make changes in the batting order, they will experiment with their first choice batters, not with someone whose primary job is bowling. So I don't think they will do that. I think they will definitely, if they have to be, they wanted to be flexible, they will probably push someone like maybe in someone from the first six to the top, but not I think Shakti.
All right, now we'll just quickly come into the Asia Cup scheme of things, and we've seen the tournament how it has unfolded. And I'd just like to ask a simple question: name a few players which has really excited, which has made you look, oh my goodness, this one player for the future. The most excited, like you've seen him play. It can be Dunit Velalege, it can be someone from Pakistan, it can be Abdullah Shafiq, anyone. Like who has excited you the most in this Asia Cup?
Through this Asia Cup.
Yeah, in this 2023 Asia Cup.
Yeah, I think definitely Hridoy from
So
Bangladesh.
with Hridoy.
Uh, Kuldeep from India, of course, without any doubt. Shubman Gill has scored runs. I think I would definitely look to see this Samira, Sri Lanka. He's a brilliant. He has
Sadhira
scored
Samara.
runs under pressure. Yeah, so Charita Asalanka is a very good player. Also, I rate him very highly. I think he has a bright future as well. From Pakistan, I think maybe Asad, yeah, Shafiq and all. But apart from that, I think I am not sure. I think from Afghanistan, I was very bit disappointed with the performance of their bowlers. If you
Yeah,
ask me,
Fazal Farooqi
Nepal,
let them down. Like,
yeah, yeah. So overall, if you ask me, these are the players which I impressed me the most in throughout this Asia Cup.
and talk about impressing. I
And
think
the fast bowler for Bangladesh, the fast bowler who bowled yesterday,
like
like
Saqib.
Saqib,
Yeah,
yeah,
Tanzim Hassan Saqib. Yeah,
Tanzim,
yeah,
yeah.
he's got the slingy action as well. That was really interesting to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah. He looks like a brilliant prospect for Bangladesh.
Yeah,
He's
let's hope he
young, he's
continues.
fast, he's accurate. He's young, he's fast, and he is accurate, and he knows how to control a swinging ball because the ball was doing a lot under the lights last night. And but he bowled at the right areas. Being a youngster, sometimes when the ball started swinging, you get overexcited. But he kept his cool and just bowled at the right channel. So he has a very very good cricketing brain in him, which is very impressive for a Bangladeshi cricketer.
Yeah, and also he has got some slower ones. In the slow overs, we got to see a little bit
Yeah,
of change of pace
true.
from him. So being a youngster
That's
and
true.
getting all those things, so that's hats off. Let's hope that he continues with these things, and continues to grow.
Heard a
So
lot about Zaman Khan from Bangladesh. Sorry, from
Pakistan,
Pakistan,
yeah,
Zaman Khan. Yeah, but unfortunately, he hasn't impressed me. Though he has got just one opportunity, the ball
uh,
was not doing because it was a wet outfield. The ball was wet. The ball was not swinging enough. But I think if you are bowling at the depth for Pakistan, you need to be more skillful.
yeah. And now we were talking about someone who was impressed, right? And we were talking about the players, but there's one point I think no one can deny, and especially you are in Colombo right there. You've seen the groundsman work so hard. It's been raining, it's been pouring down
Absolutely.
day after. So, like seeing them from a close perspective, please pour down your emotions, pour down some thoughts about the groundsman
No, no,
out there.
absolutely, completely hats off. Completely hats off to the groundsmen over here. They are very hardworking, and throughout this tournament, we have seen that rain has been in a regular feature. And here, the groundsmen, they don't have the kind of equipment which maybe if someone like some groundsman from India or maybe the England, Australia, they lack that those those proper modern equipment. So they had to rely on their old methods of soaping the ground, of making the ground ready for the game. So hats off to the groundsmen. They are very hardworking. They are very hardworking, and I think they deserve a raise. They deserve a raise.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, they don't have the advanced methods of soaping like the super soppers and all. It's all about manual due to manual work. And the number of people over there, like, do you personally interact with any one of them or just get to know any stories? They
I
might be
have
having some.
a little bit because communication is a problem for most of them. But I have a little bit. But yeah, they are quite good. Yeah, and they
All
are
right.
genuine cricket lovers. So basically, so that's an added advantage. They love the game.
Yeah, and we also got to see some glimpses, like when Sri Lanka was winning the match against Pakistan, the last ball when Zaman Khan bowled to Sri Lanka, we got to see the right behind the
Mm.
groundsman where they were cheering for Sri Lanka. And so we've come to the Q end of the session, Sandeepan. But before we sign off things, there's one last thing that I would love to ask from you. I'd love to request and two things actually. First question that is favorites for the Asia Cup final, and the second one will be I'll ask you to build the Asia Cup 2023 11. I'll help you out. We'll just combine and let's see how the playing 11, the best 11 can figure out. But first and foremost is who are the favorites to win the final, India or Sri Lanka?
I think India, the strong favorites. But Sri Lanka, they have impressed a lot. I think at one point they seemed like going out of the tournament against Afghanistan,
Yeah.
and they seemed like they won't qualify for the Super Four. But from there, that the way they have picked their in the Super Four, especially with the depleted side, I think they deserve a lot of credit. Uh, if you have to pick me an Asia Cup 11, because before a final, it is very hard to pick because there is
Yeah.
still one game left. So I think we should pick the 11 after the final.
All right.
Or maybe you can give some choices, then we can make a 11 make an 11 out of it.
Yeah. Like for example, let's go like this till now. Like there's one more game left, but till now, as for the
Subman
performance,
Gill will be one of the openers. Subman Gill, one of the openers, I think. Who
and will
else
it
will
be
open?
Rohit Sharma with him, or should it be
No,
someone like Imamul Haq, or maybe
I think
Raman
Ishanka, maybe Ishanka.
Pathum Nisanka? Pathum Nisanka has
Yeah,
gone a little bit up and down in this season. So if you go with Shubman Gill and Pathum Nisanka opening the batting, and then one down, should it be Virat Kohli or Babar Azam?
I think Virat Kohli, of course. Virat Kohli, then KL Rahul.
KL Rahul. There's
Will
also
Babar Azam?
Sadhira Samar
Babar Azam, I
also
know that he has scored a big 100, but that was
against
after
Nepal.
that against
Hmm.
Nepal. But after that, he hasn't scored enough, I believe.
Yeah. And there's also another prospect that I tell you, that's a person who has got two 90s, two nervous 90s in this Asia Cup, and that is Kusal Mendes. He also bats at number 3. So that is a tough choice to make.
I think that is a tough choice. Samira, this guy, I think he's a. If you ask me, I'll definitely pick him as well
Yeah.
because he has scored runs under pressure. Then from Sri Lanka, the left arm spinner, of course.
Dunit Villalake.
Mm,
And
yeah,
then Hardik
Balage
Pandya also played
and
a clutch innings
Kuldeep
at
will
number.
be there, definitely there. Kuldeep will be definitely there amongst the Pacers. You have to
I
pick.
think you have to go with Shaheen Afridi or Naseem Shah, or maybe from Pakistan. I think the one has to come because they've been performing
They have
really,
been
really.
very patchy. The problem with
Uh,
them that they have been very patchy, but Shaheen they will get a go. I think Shaheen will be there. Bumrah will be there. Um,
and do you pick someone like
who
Gulbadin
else?
Naib, who has been a little bit, who's came up the ranks? Not
Yeah,
really impressive,
yeah,
but yeah, he has done to some extent.
yeah. So I think definitely he can be there. The problem with Asia Cup is that some of these teams get only 2 games, right?
Yeah, that
So
is the
it is
thing.
very hard to pick a side from someone who has got just 2 matches and someone who has played already 5 games. So
All right. So that is it. We'll bring forth the Asia Cup 2023 11 as far as Sandipan Banerjee says. So thank you so much, Sandipan, for joining
thank
us.
you.
We hope to see you in the future as well. Just entertain us with all of your contents that you deliver
Thank you.
across. And yeah, let's hope that we get to chat once again. Regarding various topics of cricket. And lastly, I'd like to say to the audiences to subscribe to this channel, Cricket Reborn, and share it among your friends, guys, cricket loving characters. And yeah, that's it for today. We'll come back once again.